The government put in their recent budget a commitment to fund a national school food program. Now, that probably sounds good to a lot of Canadians. So the government's helping kids get lunch because their kids go into school without food. It should frighten us that there aren't parents who can buy their own kids lunch. And we talk about what needs to change outside of government policy. It is the idea that the government shouldn't be your daddy. The government shouldn't be your mother, right? We have families, and families should be strong enough to provide for their children. And when they're not, that should break our hearts and make us weep. It should not be used as a justification for the government to have even more influence, even more input, even more control over our lives. I wish more Canadians were offended by the idea that the government wants to buy your kids lunch.
Yeah.
And the government is making it okay for you to not be able to provide your own children with food. That's a problem. But that is the cultural issue that we encounter, is that every time the government promises to do something for you that used to be done by your own family, that used to be done by your neighbor, that used to be done by your church or your temple, every time the government promises you something, we need to get back to a point where we ask the question, why? Why do they have to do it? And why do they get to spend our tax dollars doing us a favor, and we're supposed to be grateful? Instead of saying to ourselves, no, we don't actually think that's the government's place. The government's place is not to take our money, do us a favor. The government should be facilitating a strong community and strong families and people who can stand on their own. And when they disagree with the government, can say, I disagree with you, I'm not dependent on you, and I don't have to mimic your talking points or your virtue signaling. But the more we become state dependent as people, the more we're afraid to push back. And that is the problem.